going on? Welcome to Only Football with Kyle and special guest Tyler, also known as Big Bro. What's up, Tyler?
What's going on, man?
Tyler is famous for a lot of things, but most recently famous for the Packers interview we did on Interview 32. If you haven't checked it out, it is our best interview by far, in my opinion. And I'd say not much has changed since then. Go, Tyler.
Same.
Oh, same. Okay. Not a ton going on right now. I gotta be honest. It's like the season ended and Aaron Rodgers was being traded. It just felt like there was so much stimulation. And now we're just in that period before the draft where George Kittle built a football field in his backyard and it's like headlines. I don't know if you saw that.
No, didn't see it. I was just in Colombia for like 5 days.
How's Colombia?
Oh my God.
Amazing.
It's terrifying. It's terrifying and also the most beautiful place you'll ever be in your life. As soon as you hit the sidewalks, people are asking you for money and drugs at
So
the
it's like
same time.
Miami.
No. Dude, you lived here, I've lived here. It's not the same. It's like 12-year-olds. Like, I got the best this, I got the best that. And it's a dangerous place, but if you're like traveling in groups, we got into a fort, which is called like the old city of Cartagena. And it was Easter Sunday night. So it was like a little chill, it was a holy night. And we just walking around that town. It reminds me a lot of old St. Augustine.
Ah, okay. Old city.
Yeah. Very beautiful.
That sounds awesome. I wish I would have went with you. So I thought we could just bring up something that was talked about in passing.
You're gonna give me some news today.
Give you some what?
Some news. You're gonna fill me in on what I missed.
Well, before we do that, because it's nothing huge, we had 3 episodes ago. We mentioned in passing about how the NFL is trying to expand to a global brand. And I haven't got a chance to really ask Rick about it, but I thought now would be a good time to have the conversation. Do you think the NFL should expand to Europe?
Absolutely not.
Okay. You want to elaborate?
Let me grab my rosé for that.
Rosé. Well, I agree. I'm interested to see if it's for the same reason, though.
Yeah, it's 1,000,000% our demographic. I just went to a country where there was a British pub, and they were playing Nickelback and Miley Cyrus and the most American shit ever, and we found ourselves like feeling weirdly comfortable, like as if we never left home, you know? So you and I were born in Wisconsin, did some growing up in Florida. You've moved around, I've moved around, ended up in Miami. I've never understood soccer, you know? And all the kids down in Colombia where I just was, they're like, "Oh, do you like American based on my hair is long?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's all right. I think that you should do what you do within your own country." And not to say that like in a weird way, but like if it's working, it's working.
Yeah. No, I use the same analogy. I said, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. What's up, Bill? I see you in the chat a lot. Kyle wasn't sure you're going to stream today. Missed the first 5 minutes. No worries. Glad to have you in, Bill. I'm here with my brother, Tyler. You've probably seen him on here before.
You can't say anything about the medication I'm on?
No, go ahead. Yeah. It's your world. It's your world, man.
Actually yours right now. I was waiting for you to.
No, it's ours.
No.
I would say ours. Tyler's on shrooms.
I'm on shrooms, guys. I'm on fucking shrooms, okay?
He ate some mushrooms. It wasn't planned this
Mel
way.
called me. He was like, "You want to talk football?" And I was like, "Not necessarily, but let's fucking talk about what happened last week because I had no service for 7 days."
And here we are. So Tyler just got back from Colombia. KC, I see you in the chat. Glad to have you in here.
I want to see that.
You want to see the chat? It should be on the right. Hit comments on the right side of your screen.
Ooh, okay.
You're in.
Okay, what's up, players?
Bill said vitamins.
Yeah, no, straight.
So I kind of said the same thing, but I thought, okay, if you're really good at something, don't try to expand on that. And like at Toyota, when Toyotas were made in Japan, they would last for 25 years. That's why if you get your hand on a 1990s Toyota, it's probably still running. But once they started manufacturing Toyotas in America, they stopped using real metal. Toyota stopped lasting as long. And I think it's a great analogy when you're trying to expand to make it a global brand. It's like, obviously,
why is this big news? What's up with the Kittle thing? What he built a football field in his backyard.
No. He's saying that I said the big news so far because Bill said he missed the first 5 minutes, and Casey's saying, yeah, because I mentioned that in the beginning.
So what is it like to scale?
I mean, no, it looked like it was like a 45-yard field. I mean, it might be full size. His wife was the one that posted it on Instagram, and it only showed it from like the 45-yard line to the end zone. So I don't know what the other side is. It might be a whole field.
That's the massive news.
I wouldn't say massive.
Dude,
I wouldn't say.
It's gut wrenching.
No, he was in the dark. He went to a dark place.
All right, Casey.
Casey
I thought
said
it was a mansion. Okay. It most likely is. Where does Kittle live? Like,
probably California.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. Dude, you should see these guys outside of Miami, like that are like the D Wades of the world and the Rick Rosses of the world, and they say like they're like the Miami boys, but as soon as they get out, as soon as they make money, they're going to Homestead, they're going to the Everglades basically, and they're building these gigantic properties, and it's probably gorgeous like that.
Yeah. I mean, do you think that celebrities would want to be in like a populated area in general? No. Like, it makes sense to me.
I know for a fact that Tyler Hero owns a property in my building.
Oh, really?
Oh, do you want to hear a funny story about? Can't talk about NBA.
No, you can if it's a cool story. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. It's really funny though. So
no.
Kyle and I moved from from Jacksonville back to Wisconsin for a while, and we went to Whitnall. Oh, I went to Whitnall High School, and that's where Tyler Hero goes. Big Miami fan, been following him up for a while. Do you remember this story?
I remember the game we went to where he made the 3-pointer to win the game. Do you remember that?
No.
What?
I mean, yes, I do remember that. I do remember that. It has nothing to do with this dumbass story. So I'm about to throw myself under the bus. So I run up on Tyler Hero. I'm probably 27. The kid's like 18 at the time. And I look up at him at the daily. He's just at the daily. And I was like, oh shit, I'm hungover. And I'm like, what do I do? And I'm like, hey, what's up, man? You're Tyler? I'm Tyler too. That's how I introduced the conversation. Like a psychopath.
Yeah. Like your first time meeting another Tyler.
It gets better. It gets better. So I go, hey man, I'm a season ticket holder. and I went to Whitnall High School. Like, I'm going to rob this guy. He just wants a breakfast sandwich.
A good breakfast sandwich.
So I keep going, and I'm like, hey, man, like, just, do you mind if I take a selfie with you? Like, I went to Whitnall. I still have the selfie to this day. And I'm ashamed because I've never been a season ticket holder. Never been.
Do you think that's why you got the selfie?
No, because he was probably scared of me. He just wanted me to get away from him.
Dude, the daily is where I saw D Wade and Gabriella Union.
Gabrielle Union.
Gabrielle Union. And if you're ever in Miami, the Daily is like, in my opinion, one of the best breakfast spots you can go to. I don't know if I'd
What's up,
say
Casey?
the best, but it's pretty fire.
What's up?
Okay. So going back to this thing, do you think that the whole idea with trying to be a global brand is just about money? Or do you think it has something to do with like, hey, like before you say yes, we just I say we, the Broncos just had a game in the UK, and there was a game in Germany for the first time last season. And I follow a podcast group that was traveling out there, and they were doing like booze cruises. They took over a bar the whole time they were there for like 4 days. It was a
Can I stop you here?
yeah, go ahead.
So, when you were saying if the NFL expands to Europe, is it bad? I thought you meant like the entire league. No, I do not think it's bad when we expand a game.
No, I did mean the entire league. Like a team is going to be based out like you would have like the
Oh no,
United.
no. That's never going to work. But I think it's great to go to somewhere in Europe. So I'm pretty sure we fill seats. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That's actually what I was going to say is that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
always sell out, and all these people are like, man, like any chance we get. I saw a video of a big soccer fan. He was like 17 years old, and he was like, this is my first time watching American football. And he was like, and by the end of the video, he was like, honestly, it's pretty slow, but the passion keeps you entertained the whole time. And I definitely recommend like 10 out of 10 to go to an American football game if you ever get a chance. Like, and
Slow. It's slow. What?
well, compared to
Soccer?
soccer, it is slow because
Compared
there's
to
a lot of time between
Here's the
plays.
problem with soccer. It's like this. There's one cameraman that's doing this the whole fucking game. The whole game. It's so boring for that reason. It's not the lack of physicality or lack of athletics. It's the production. It's the
Yeah,
value that
why is it
Americans
not
get.
higher?
I
I
don't
mean,
know. They
it's a
don't make as much
question.
money. They don't make it doesn't bring as much dollar value. It's probably what it was. Or there's the tradition behind it, which might be a problem with the NFL. But dude, at least the NFL, like I talked about this on the last time with the XFL cameras that brought you into the huddle. Tyler's not lying on soccer. Boring as hell. It is. It's just it's not boring for lack of physicality. We don't know the rules. We don't know like what's necessarily going on at all times. But those guys are badasses, and I know that. But it's just not as fun. It's not as fun. And sorry, also
No,
on
no, no.
medicine. Also on medicine. But it's I've talked about this before where there's just a lack of like there's a lack of production, man. What do we call them in the corner of the end zone? The
Pylon.
pylon. We have a pylon cam. We have a pylon cam now. No one else does. And that's laser. We could see who fucking made it right there.
Yeah.
You know? And I just want that type of production. If I'm sitting on my couch, being an average American, a lazy fuck, not drinking Bud Light, And I just want to know what I'm getting my money for.
There's a what was it? Why was everybody in I can't oh, it was Super Bowl week. So you know
Anybody
how
Bud Light reference?
I did because you don't like Bud Light.
It was I never did.
I don't think a lot of people do unless that was just like their first beer. Like because
No,
you
dude,
know
there's a lot of people that love Bud Light out there.
yeah, I think it's just
And I think
because
those
once
same
you get
people
used
love it more.
you said the same people love it more. Well, I think once you get used to it, it's like Miller. Like if you drink a Miller for the first time, there's a chance you don't like it. But once you like get to the point where you have one Miller Lite that tastes good, you're like in love with it. It's like a specific taste. That's why I always like Coors Light. And people will say, "Oh, all the beers, all shit beer tastes the same." It's not true.
It's
Coors
so true.
Light to me is kind of like Miller. It's very flavorful, but it has lighter bubbles, and I
No,
kind of like that.
it's all true. As soon as you're drinking cold as hell light beer, whether it's Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Light, doesn't fucking matter.
I think
I'm a
Mexican
Miller.
beers are noticeable. Corona, Modelo, you
Yeah,
could
but they're
totally
not
taste
light.
the difference.
They're not light beers. They're not American beers. We're talking about American beers right now. So Coors, Bud, Miller.
I'll do
As
a
long as
blind test
you're
on this
cold,
show.
huh?
I'll do a blind test on this show. You know what's
Yeah,
funny
it
is
will
my
fail miserably.
my buddy just moved out of his house and he gave me
It's gonna be phony, Casey. That's gonna be a weirdo. It's not a blind test. It's right in front of you.
he said, "Do you want this?" And it was a
It's
24 rack of
I was a
Bud
Broncos
Light.
fan. No shit, dude. No shit. Weird. Casey hit it on the head before I could.
I mean, I'm not ashamed of that.
That's what's up.
It just tastes
Bill
like
has
shit.
What, Bud Light?
It tastes a little like shit.
That's not a blind test, Kyle.
It's the only one I
That's
have.
not
I
a
can't
blind
do a
test.
blind test with one variety of
You
beer.
said let's do a blind test.
Like in the future, like it's got to be
You
planned. We
promised the
can't.
viewers a blind test.
I did, and I'm gonna fulfill that promise, not on this show, but in a future show. But
What a
honestly,
loser.
when it's cold, it doesn't taste as bad. This is really
It's
cold.
not that
right now.
bad though. It's not that bad. Just like Coors Light is not that bad. And as Casey said, the only reason you like fucking Coors Light is because you're a big fucking Broncos fan, you fucking dork. And the only reason I'm a Miller Lite fan is because I was born in Milwaukee.
I mean,
Uncle Wolf.
I was about to say Uncle Wolf started drinking Coors too. He's not a Broncos fan.
No. Fuck off. He changed.
You're wearing a Coors hoodie right now.
It's just it looks nice.
What?
And it makes you feel comfortable.
Do you even realize that you're wearing a Coors hoodie this whole fucking argument?
The point of the being is we're all the same. We're all the same. We're all the same.
Maybe. Trivia night beer testing. We'll do that tomorrow. Oh man.
Fucking this place sucks.
So who's the best team in the NFL right now?
Still on mushrooms.
I'll give you 4 options.
I don't
Bills?
need Casey.
KC?
Casey is annoying at it. I don't know.
What
I still
about
have to
the Bengals?
let's talk about the Aaron Rodgers situation. What the fuck is this guy up to? Haven't had internet enough to know if this guy's breaking up with me or not.
He's breaking up with you. It's just
Yeah.
that they're at a standoff. They're at a standoff right now where and this is a huge debate right now is who actually has leverage. And people are like, the Packers have no leverage. They've already said they want to move off their quarterback. Burp. But
God,
the
really
reality
sick of
is
you.
like the Packers do have leverage because they're going if they just decide to pay his salary, right? They can move on to Jordan Love. And the Jets are the ones that are trying to make it to the Super Bowl, and their window is this big. So I mean, because what Rodgers was 90% going to retire, 10% going to play, which means we don't know how long he has. He could have 1 year left, it could be 2, but whatever it is, it's a tiny window. So how desperate will the Jets end up getting? The Packers are kind of just waiting to see. And then there was just news that came out today that the Packers are willing to wait like through the draft because a lot of people are like, this is going to be done before the draft. So draft picks are part of the compensation. But there's a chance now that the Packers and Jets both have a complete draft and there's no trade with Aaron Rodgers, or you're going to hear dun 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 in the first round.
Don't care.
The Packers have traded, or the Jets have traded the Packers spot, and it'll include Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah,
and it'll happen on the first night of the draft. That's
I
a
agree
lot of
with
people.
Casey. I agree with Casey. I don't give a shit anymore. I just don't care anymore.
He's not your
You
quarterback.
know,
You shouldn't.
exactly. I don't care anymore. He went through the darkest time. I'm going through a dark time right now, man. No, it's not that dark anymore. But at least I have like a glass of rosé.
I think when you go through dark times, you have a kind
Say
of
it. A light.
I don't want to say greater appreciation, but you you understand like Tom Brady, I went through a divorce and the divorce itself is a good thing, but everything else is terrible.
Yeah.
And it's very stressful. So like when everybody was like Tom Brady this, Tom Brady that, I was like, you guys, like if you've been through something like that, then to play football is just like secondary, and I just I forgot in this conversation that Aaron Rodgers isn't actually going through a dark time because you keep making this dark place reference. And
You called
I,
me, brother. I mean, uh,
Aaron Rodgers is going to be fine. Do you
that's the
think
light
that
for me.
are,
Casey? No, I'm not turning them all the way up, dude. It freaked me out.
I think Love will be good too, Bill. I totally agree with that. I I know it was a small sample size. I like it a lot. What I saw out of Love. And I'm not just saying that. I mean, I
I
would
mean, I
be
hate repeating myself, but I'll say it like I said in the last podcast, man. Like I'm over the Packers as a Packers like fan since I was a kid. I'm 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 finally an angry fan. Like I'm finally that guy who's like I'm spoiled rotten as a fan of the Packers. Like we had two great quarterbacks back to back. We only have two Super Bowls in 30 years, and I'm over them. I'm over them. Let's figure it out. We have a great core. We have a pretty good line. We
I
have
wouldn't say
two
great
amazing
core.
backs. We have two amazing tailbacks. We
That'll
have
help.
not so good receivers. Jordan Love. Let's see. Mark mark my words. Like we can see it. What's up with the kid? He got put on a good spot during this last season, and he finished the game. So we'll see. But like I hate repeating myself, but like we'll see what the kid can do. And that's all I can
Well,
say.
yeah, I think it's a lot different when you go into a game where you're already losing and you got nothing to lose than when you're officially replacing the last 20 years of or 40 years
30.
of
30.
18 years for Rodgers and then 18
Well,
for
as soon as
Brett
I've
Favre.
been watching football, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I do keep that in mind. You know what he saw was
Steve's coming up in the horizon. I'm
what's
also
up, Steve? Richard in here. Been a minute. Hope all is well. All's going well, partner. I never say partner. I don't know why I said that, but
Yeah.
good to have you in here. We're just talking some Packers now. So let me do this. I'm gonna do an over under. You tell me over or under. 7. 7 wins.
Over.
Oh no, no.
Over
Over
for sure. No, over. Let me drink one more glass of wine. Over.
8. 8.
God
Stay.
damn it. Steve's right. Steve came into the chat and he's fucking immediately right. God damn it. God damn it, Steve. Yeah, I still think we do well with those athletes, man. Yeah, I'm standing by AJ Dillon and I'm standing by Christian Watson. I'm standing by him.
Do you feel good about that receiving core? Because
Mm,
I don't.
Fuck no. Fuck no.
Yeah,
We're
man.
ass.
I,
We're
I
ass.
was trying to say that the other day where people like the Lamar Jackson thing. And I know that you
Oh,
came
and
in when
OBJ
me
just got signed. I saw that before I came
yeah,
back from India.
OBJ got signed to the Ravens and we talked about the whole quarterback thing and
Give me a 2-minute fucking what's going on with Lamar Jackson?
so Lamar Jackson put it on Twitter because he doesn't have an agent that he does not want to play for the Ravens, and he made it official. And
That's not 2 minutes.
John Harbaugh said that they don't intend on trading him, and the teams that would trade for him, like the Colts or the Texans, they're picking at 1 and 2, or the Panthers, Texans, and Colts are picking at 1, 2, and 3, and the chances are they're more in love with Bryce Young and CJ Stroud or Anthony Richardson because you also got to take into consideration they're going to be on rookie contracts so they can put a lot of weapons around versus paying a shit ton of money for Lamar. And when you have a young quarterback, this is circling to what I was trying to say. When you have a young quarterback, it's almost it's crucial that you put around him a lot of good players that can help him. Like Aaron Rodgers, you look at the highest paid quarterbacks, and a lot of times
I said 2 minutes.
Lamar, it hasn't been 2 minutes.
Dude, I said
Lamar
2 minutes.
Lamar would
Or
be
two
like,
sentences.
"Oh, why
I'm
would
so sorry.
you
I meant
bring
2 seconds.
in
I mean, I
why
meant
would you
two
bring in
sentences.
all of these?"
I'm also on medicine. I'm on medicine. I'm on medicine.
Well,
Two
my point is
sentence.
this. I'll put it in two sentences.
2 sentence. 2 sentence.
As much as
Dollars.
a- um, as much as great quarterbacks that are paid a lot of money want to have a bunch of weapons around them, I think it's more important that rookie quarterbacks taking over have a bunch of weapons around them.
No fucking shit.
Well, I'm glad that you feel that way because everybody keeps wondering why, when Aaron Rodgers gets traded, do the Packers maybe make a move for a quarterback? Well, they're not paying $50 million for one guy in a year, or the Ravens don't pay Lamar Jackson, and now all of a sudden they're like already maybe turned to page and have money to spend on OBJ, or they bought OBJ so that Lamar would stay. You know, that's the other way to look at it.
Yeah, Bill.
Packers win 4 at home. They win maybe 5 if they split the divisional games. This is based on the 2023 opponents list. I could even see them getting exactly 7, though. Yeah.
Well, we just suck. We just suck at drafting people. We suck at like we're the worst team ever. Like I now know how it feels like to be like a bad team.
Dude, you're not even a bad team yet.
That's what I'm saying. But like I'm just looking forward to the future.
You know, we've lived through bad seasons. Like Brett Favre won 3 games one year. 3.
Yeah, and
And
you
that
got to somehow go to the game.
No. I went to the game when they were good. I went to the Giants NFC Championship game. Bill's a huge Giants fan. So he knows exactly what game we're talking about. But I mean, but for the most part, the Packers have been good every year. But I'm just throwing that out there. There has been a couple rocky seasons. I mean, two maybe in the last 38 years, but that's not a lot. But I just wouldn't say that the Packers are a shitty team because if you believe in Matt LaFleur, which last time I asked you, you did, I don't think anything
I
changed
love
there.
the kid.
And Jordan Love, obviously, the Packers know better than all of us what they have there. So if they went on to say when Rodgers was in the dark place that they wanted to move on, it's not like Rodgers came to them and was like, "Oh, I don't want to be here anymore." The Packers broke up with Aaron Rodgers, which means they know that Jordan Love is a great replacement. So have faith in that, right? A little bit. Or don't.
Or don't.
Or don't.
It's
Or
just,
don't.
it's no, dude. It's hard, dude. It sucks.
I mean, the
It's
Packers didn't even make the playoffs last season. So
yeah.
it's
I
not
was
like you
there.
guys
I
are
was
coming
there,
off.
player. I was there. Weren't you guys like the worst in the league?
The
Sorry,
Broncos.
I didn't mean.
Wow, we're going that deep.
I
We're
didn't. I
good.
didn't.
No, there's like 4
I
teams
thought you were
worse.
getting. I thought you were getting on the offense for a second, and I just need to chill out.
Do you think the Broncos are going to be good under Sean Payton?
Fuck no.
You don't?
Are you still gonna have him as your quarterback?
Russell Wilson, you can't even say his name.
No way,
That
dude.
yeah, man. Russell Wilson at quarter. Dude, I can't believe that you would say one of the most brilliant offensive minds in the NFL is going to come be the head coach. They've already beefed up their whole O line. They spent
Hang on,
more
what's his
money
dad
in
say?
free agent.
Dude, these are paragraphs.
Bill said, and that's given the Falcons the W against you. And I would not do that. But there are actually having a good free agency and could be sneaky good. Bill, I think the Falcons are going to have a good defense next year. That's going to be, I would say, a top 10 unit. And Atlanta's only had a top 10 defense one time since the last decade. So they made a lot of hires, and all of it's about the defense. Offensively, they got to figure out what they're doing. I think they're tanking. I
Dude,
think they're tanking.
I think you might have done the best thing ever is creating a show but behind yourself and making it about the worst team ever. Ever. Can you hear this?
Yeah,
Worst,
go ahead.
worst team ever.
They're when did you guys win your last Super Bowl? 2010?
2013. You were there, player. I was wearing a cheese hat.
2010, and we won in 2015.
No, it was 2013.
2013, the Broncos went to the Super Bowl again. They lost to the Seahawks.
Oh wait, yeah, no, I got my years wrong. 2013 was the year that me, and Dad, you didn't see the whole game.
Yeah. You guys want to hear this story really quick?
Yeah,
This is hilarious. The NFL season has started. It's week 1. Peyton Manning throws 7 touchdown passes against the Ravens. This would be a sneak preview to the greatest offense of all time, historically speaking, statistically speaking. Peyton threw 55 touchdown passes. This was the best offense anybody had ever seen.
In my defense, we were in a rough place.
No, we're not there yet. So this is the best offense in the NFL. The Seahawks are the best defense in the NFL, and I'm sure. So we go to a bar to watch the game. It's the Super Bowl. This is my first time seeing the Broncos in a Super Bowl since being an adult. I mean, my whole life. They went when I was like 6. Okay, so we're at this bar, and the kickoff happens, and Tyler goes, "Let's go to Pub 1," which is a different bar all the way from Miami Beach to Miami downtown,
which I now own. Which he
now owns. We spent let's say 35, 40 minutes trying to get a cab. And I was missing the game. And every time I tried to go back in, they kept telling me that I was like, "Oh, dude, why are you being like this?" Like trying to make me feel bad. And at the time I was a people pleaser. But what I should have done is been like, "Fuck you guys. I'm watching the Broncos game." Then by the time we get to pub 1, it's almost halftime. And it's
Sorry,
like
I thought it was 6-year-old Kyle. No, he was a child.
I was 23. No.
You
I
weren't-
was
Not even close. You were not 21.
2013. 2013. I was, well, let's say 13. I was 19.
Yeah.
Wrestling with dad after the game. It was a bad, I mean, look, in one way you saved me from having to watch that game. But on the other side, I feel like they
Glad
lost
we ended
because
up
I
at
didn't
some
watch
point.
the game. I feel
Yeah.
like they needed me to watch that game. So I don't know. I watched Super Bowl 50 and we won. So
All right, I gotta pee.
yeah.
Have a great question when I come back.
Okay. So I'm gonna do news roundoff really quick. So KC, Tyler said, "Tyler, you're coming out of the dark. Good to see. Sorry, not sorry. 6-year-old Kyle." Okay, so here's a quick news roundup. This is from today. TCU wide receiver Quentin Johnson is scheduled to visit Arizona. For Baltimore, Ohio State wide receiver Jackson Smith is scheduled for a top 30 visit with Baltimore. And this is the same receiver that in a lot of mock drafts, they have the Packers drafting Jackson Smith. So I'm keeping an eye on him, but this guy's literally visiting everybody. He went to the Buffalo Bills for a visit. He went to the Dallas Cowboys. It'd be interesting for the Cowboys to make that move. But he went to the Texans. There's dudes everywhere. So he's definitely going to be drafted in the first round. A lot of people have him as the best receiver. Some people have TCU's wide receiver, the one that was visiting Arizona. But I think it's a pretty good draft for receivers. So I would like to see the Giants draft a receiver, a surefire dude in the first round if they trade up. So Will Levis is also scheduled with Tennessee. And to me, Will Levis, Tennessee makes a lot of sense because you got Ryan Tannehill towards the end of his career. And then 1, 2, and 3 are all going to take quarterbacks. So that could be Richardson and CJ and Bryce Young. So by the time they get to Tennessee, because Tennessee didn't have a great year, Tennessee was really injured most of the season. So Tennessee, to me, is like the perfect place for Will Levis to be drafted. I know last year they drafted, God, I'm drawing a blank on his name, but he is not good. Who did they draft last season?
Will Compton.
You know who I'm talking about? I think it's Willis. Do you know who I'm here?
I have no idea who you're talking
He's a running quarterback. Willis. Oh, here it is. Malik Willis. They throw Malik Willis into a couple games. One of them was Sunday night.
Pink.
Oh, man. I thought that was a football. The whole glass.
No, it's it kind of looks like one. Pink. Salute, boys.
Salute.
Shout out KC Bill.
Okay, so you made it back. Do you here's my question for you. Do you think that teams should pay their running backs? Because we're at a point in the league where even if you have a really good one, the tread comes off the tires in 5 years, and then you could just draft another one and have a cheap one. So you're seeing people like Ezekiel Elliott doesn't even have a place to play as of right now.
Yeah.
And then Saquon Barkley is next year going to have to kind of deal with this, and you see Derrick Henry, but for the most part, running backs don't last very long. They're not super expensive, but a lot of them are replaceable in the draft. So, like, where do you stand with running backs?
As a fan, or as like
No, as a GM,
ooh,
like, would you pay them or just go
I'm
to the
not.
draft?
Again, I'm not in the world. Um, I would invest in my goddamn quarterback first, but right behind him, what gives me the most confidence is my running back. And I think that I have a number one, number two that can bust down anybody in the league.
Yeah, it's just I think
Like, correct me if I'm wrong. Do I not have like a weird confidence?
no, I don't think it's weird. Do you want a helmet? Put you
I would
in.
love one.
Okay, would you play in the NFL for like one quarter?
It's a terrible question.
You would?
What do you mean? I'd be a ball boy.
No, like you're gonna get a helmet and like get in the game.
Yeah, Kyle.
What position? Slot?
I'd probably start as headhunter on kickoff, and then I would work my way to probably a safety position, and then
You'd be like a TJ Ward safety?
no, but honestly, like my if we're doing this right now, I wish I was more prepared because I would have so much better words to say. But I would be a receiver. I would be a slot receiver. And you and I both know I had fucking stupid hands. Like before OBJ.
I told them the story of us running the Oklahoma drills and you lighting me up because you
Yeah.
thought I was that guy Jordan.
No, dude, that's not why, bro. It's because you were soft as fuck.
No, dude, that's totally what happened. You told me immediately. You were like, I thought you were
Can I
Jordan.
tell your audience what happened?
Yeah, I mean, I already did, but you can tell your version.
Cool. So Kyle came home, and there's a thing that grows in you as an adult man where you're like, I want to fuck people up. Like, I just want to lower my head, and I just want to fuck people up. Uh-oh, the chat's going live.
Steve said, with a huge shift to running
These
QBs,
dudes are big and
I'd pay
strong.
running backs.
No, but for
I
real.
agree.
But
Steve.
in Kyle's defense, he always had to roll with me like the older brother. And I used to fucking just run into people as hard as I could, head to fucking head, and just lace people up. And they were also like 5'9" white guys, so it wasn't that bad. But I would do and I would run as fast, as strong as I could. And my dad one day was like watching Kyle doing really well, and he caught like really good passes, but he didn't have that. And Kyle, I've never told you this. That's so funny, man. I was in JV football practice, and I remember one of my coaches was like, "Tyler, you just gotta get it. You just gotta understand it." And I didn't understand it then, but I did when we moved to Jacksonville. When we moved there, I understood it. Like, it was either gonna be me or them, and I understood it then because I had puberty. and they trained us young. And I was starting to hit kids, and my dad brought us back into the backyard. And he was like, "It's you and your brother," and I beat him up, and I beat him up, and I beat him up, and I beat him up,
Yeah, I
and
was
it didn't.
12.
But I was only 14.
It's a big difference, 12 to 14.
But it's better that it's in the backyard than out there in front of all your peers. You know what I mean?
I
Dad did
think
the right
Dad's
thing.
just sick.
Huh?
I think Dad's just a little sick.
No, it was better. It was better.
It was better that way.
As soon as your head was lodged in a tree, that's when we gave up. You weren't hurt. You weren't injured. You were hurt. And I made you tougher. I made you tougher that day. Did I not?
I don't know. I don't remember
Come
that day.
on, man. Give me that. Give me that. I didn't make you tougher that day?
No,
Look
it's
at where
also
you
a
are
dumb
now.
drill for somebody trying to play receiver.
No, no one's trying to play receiver at Pop Warner. You did well that day. You were a good kid that day. You took it. And look where
It's
you are
quite
now.
possible.
Dude, you're a good man. You're a great man.
Thank you. You know, it's funny. Maybe things like that shape us more than we know.
More than you fucking know, dude.
Casey said, my dad put boxing gloves on me and my brother in the backyard.
Imagine if it was like that. Imagine, I'm a boxer, dude. I'm not a boxer, but
you box.
I've
recreationally.
I have a sanctioned fight, and I understand what it takes to like go through those steps. And I know, dude, I know we're talking about like old school shit, but I wish we still had that camera evidence of you with your head still stuck in the fucking.
Oh, remember the one footage that we found was us running like full speed and then the video ended right before the collision? Oh my god. Oh,
dude,
god.
we were so invested in Friday Night Lights.
Oh, dude. They sweat just like we do. They went through 2 days. We went through 2 days in 110-degree weather. Don't tell me, preacher man. Oh man. And Coach Carter.
No, not as much.
I don't know. I can literally quote like entire scenes of that movie.
No, but I'm glad. I'm glad. And then even beyond that, motherfucker, you and I had to do Oklahoma's when I was a senior and you were a sophomore at Inglewood.
That's the story I was talking about. And then you brought up this one. Yeah, I was like, oh, it was the Oklahoma.
You broke out.
No, that's the story I was talking about. Was when we were doing Oklahoma's and you that's when I said you thought I was Jordan.
Oh no, that's fucked up. I fucked you up.
Yeah, they used to always.
I thought you meant in the backyard the one day after Pop Warner.
No. I meant that story. They used to always say like, "Mama loves me more."
Ass. We gotta.
What do we gotta do?
We gotta backtrack. All right, so I was initially talking about you and I in the backyard after Pop Warner. After Dad was pissed. And after Dad
I know what you were talking about.
Okay.
But I was talking about the Oklahoma drills at Eagles View.
No, that was just fun for me. No, that was easy work. No, I was an animal back then. I was though, I was on a goal.
I was on a goal. Oh, the college football?
Yeah, dude, I really wanted it.
Do you ever get the
You know
urge?
I was nasty out there. You know I was nasty out there.
Yeah, no, you were. Do you ever get the urge to like train like you're going to play college football, even though you're not, just to like do the training?
Yeah. I honestly I find it a lot in UFC. You know, I know I can never be um, a football athlete like I was because I know what it takes. But I found fight sports afterwards, and I become like a massive like. I was in Colombia by myself, dude. 60-story building. I was sitting there by myself. I had a bottle of tequila. I had a cold ass beer and had my phone. And all my friends are out partying, and I was like, no, I just want to watch the fights. Because I'm just a huge fight fan now. And
It's
it's
big in
because,
Adam and stuff. There's a lot of people that were
oh,
like super
you
into it.
know Adam Gucci is fucking boxing, but I'm
Did he
not.
start? He started boxing.
Yeah, I know. And he's an amazing photographer.
Did he have any like boxing experience before he like?
Yeah, it was me. I told you about the time that we squared up outside the bar.
No, no, you.
Casey or Steve entertained.
He said my
Dude,
bro also did it with his two sons too. I still watch boxing. It isn't boring like soccer. No, dude. Hey, real quick, and you guys can answer this too. Watching, have you watched the Creeds? Creed 1, Creed
of
2?
course.
I just you saw the new TV I got. I was trying to pick what's the first movie I'm going to watch on this new TV. And I hadn't seen Creed, and I know Creed 4 was, or is it Creed 3 in theaters? Creed 4 is in
Yo,
theaters,
we're
one of
here.
them. And I just threw the first one on to see what it was about.
Wait, the
And
initial Creed?
Creed 1. Yeah.
You know they're the Rocky movies, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You know we're young as fuck.
Yeah, do you know that story about Sylvester Stallone with that
No.
movie? So he was trying to become an actor, and he told his wife, they were like dirt poor, and he told his wife like I wanted to be an actor, and she was like no, and he said I didn't want to get like a dead end job because I knew if I got that job that I would just basically give up on my dream. Like I would get older and just forget about it. So he's like I burned every bridge and I made this my only option. And he's like the electricity would go out, and they were in the Midwest, so they're like we could see our breath in the house. It was terrible. He ends up pawning his
Sylvester
girlfriend's,
Stallone was a Midwesterner.
or maybe Boston, cold, just cold, somewhere cold. So it could be a lot of places, but
I don't. There's
he made
no.
it sound like it was really cold. So, but anyway, so he ends up
No,
having
this
to
is
like,
a major fact.
not really, not in the story I'm telling.
Okay,
So
sorry.
he ends up having to pawn his wife's jewelry and stuff like that to get money, and things are just going bad. She finally leaves him, and he would go to the library, and he said he would just go there because it was warm. And he started reading poetry. I can't remember the author, but he got really into poetry, and he ended up
Who the
getting
fuck
so
did you read this, dude?
poor that he had to sell his dog. And he said
Oh,
that was the lowest point of my life. He said he went outside a liquor store and he was trying to sell his dog to people. And he said somebody bought him for $50. He's like, I went home and cried. Then he said I was watching a fight with Mike Tyson and someone else, and he thought of the script Rocky. So he goes upstairs and he's like, for 2 days straight, I didn't leave. I wrote the entire fucking Rocky in 2 days. And he goes, so he runs back down because he was going to these journalists and telling them like I want to be an actor, and they were like nobody wants to hire some dopey dude, so they kept giving him scenes where he would be like the bully and get beat up and stuff where like people, because they don't like him, would like hurt him in just like tiny scenes, like the mugger, the burglar, whatever. So he goes back down there
There's
and
no
he's
way
like,
that's true.
yeah, it is. So then he goes back down there and he gives them Rocky, and they're like, they read it, they love it, and they're like, we'll totally take this.
No, hang on. It's totally true.
No, it is. I'll send you it. It's his story. So anyway, so
Sylvester Stallone.
yeah, Sylvester
He
Stallone.
he writes off on it.
He what?
He writes off on it. This is his story.
Yeah, he wrote Rocky.
In 2
So
days.
yes.
Come on.
So
Is
he
that
goes
not
down.
is that not like
No, not when you hear the story. You
you understand that like
feel the sincerity in his voice when he tells the story.
wow, because dad wanted me to be a good football player, I had to drink raw egg yolks.
What does that have to do with anything?
It's because of Rocky.
Oh, okay. Well, let me get
Yeah,
to
it's
the end of the
Rocky reference.
story. I'm trying to get to the end here.
I'm
So
trying to cut you off while you're doing a good thing. There's no way that guy wrote that in 2 fucking days.
I'll send the link. So anyway, so he ends up going up to them and they love Rocky and they're like, "Yeah, we want it." But Rocky has this kind of ultimatum here where he's like, "I'll only sell it to you if I star in it." And they're like, "No, like absolutely not. We're not doing it." And they offered him a large amount of money. And then it went down to like 200 grand and then eventually they're like, "Look, if you're going to star in it, we'll give you $20,000 and we'll give you royalties on the movie. But if we're taking a risk, you're going to take a risk with us." So they're like, "Okay, deal." So then he gets the deal. And the guy asked him, "What was the first thing you did with the money?" And he goes, "I went back to that liquor store and I was hoping that I would run into the guy that I sold my dog to." So he's like, "No shit. I see the guy and he's got my dog with him." And I'm like, "I want to buy my dog back." And he's like, "No way, man. Like, you can't buy him back. This is my dog. Like, I've bonded with him." And he's like,
I've
a
heard the
hundred.
story.
He's like, "I'll give you $100. It's like double what you paid for it." The dude's like, "No way." 2,000. No. And then he's like, eventually, I got what I wanted. And he's like, "What did it cost you?" And he's like, $10,000 and a role in Rocky. So the guy that bought his dog's actually in Rocky, and the dog in the movie's his real dog.
I think that's true.
Yeah, it's all true. Stop being such a
I've heard
pessimist.
Ooh.
That might be, I'm telling you a true story told by Sylvester Stallone. Like,
Right, fair enough. I think
it's an insane story.
no, but I think that he can like fuck up the
Yeah,
details a little bit, right?
probably. I
Yeah, you
mean,
just took 25 minutes to tell one story, and
no, dude, the one I'm gonna send you is a lot longer. I gave you cliff notes here,
all
but
right, so fair.
I think it's a great story that a lot of people don't know because I've told people this story and they're like they don't even know Rocky. They don't even know Sylvester Stallone wrote Rocky.
Yeah.
They're just like, so no, it's a cool story. I forgot why that came up, but
I think somebody in the chat said putting boxing gloves on with their dad.
oh yeah, I still like watch. Yeah, probably something like that. Oh no, because you asked me, did you know Rocky was part of Creed? That's why.
Yeah, you said you love
Yeah.
Creed.
I mean, I didn't understand the connection besides like Sylvester Stallone was his trainer. So I was like, oh, okay, so now he's older and the movie starts when Rocky's old, I guess.
Yeah, old man.
But besides that, it's kind of its own movie, you know. So Bill, Casey, Steve, all in the chat.
Yeah,
Obviously, there's not a ton of football to talk about, but I came into this with an intention to let you guys ask any questions you have. It doesn't even have to be about football. It could be about anything. Before I sign off, I wanted to give you guys could be about your team, whatever. We've done this before, and I think somebody asked me what my favorite cereal was, so I'll ask you what's your top 3 cereals? It's hard. Yeah, don't answer quick if you're not ready.
Reese's Puffs, Captain Crunch, and your mom's.
Same mom. Reese's Puffs my favorite. I got to go Cocoa Pebbles number 2, I think. You know what I've been doing lately is I mix Lucky Charms
Corn
and Tricks.
Corn Pops. So we
Corn
got
Pops. Corn Pops. Damn, I never met anybody that's like fucking
yeah.
Corn Pops is my shit. I'm
We
always.
we got a serial killer in the chat.
You like black licorice too, Bill? What's that other one that's it's got the frog on it? You know what I'm talking about? It's like a red box with a frog. It's gonna kill me.
No, it should have killed you before.
Red frog cereal.
Apple Jacks.
It's gonna kill me, dude.
Apple Jacks. Apple Jacks.
Does Apple Jacks make your list just because of how good the milk is when you're done?
I know what you're talking about. The box was sticky as fuck.
Lucky Charms. But I don't eat cereal anymore. Why not? That's something I can't grow out of. I also been watching SpongeBob a lot lately too. It's way better as an adult. Like way better. It's like there's so much adult humor and puns in SpongeBob. I have Amazon and I just throw an episode on, eat cereal.
Watch Hunger Games.
Dude, it's so weird you're saying that because I was in archery, doing some archery stuff, and Aaron was like, we should watch the Hunger Games. And I'm like, dude, I don't think I've ever seen the Hunger Games. And she was like,
dude.
We were about to watch it, but I was trying to find
it's like
who has it.
It's like Warzone.
I'm gonna watch it tonight, and I'm gonna give you guys an update for Trivia Thursday. That's what I'll do. So
yeah, we are.
Wait, is there 1 or 2 Hunger? How many movies are there?
There's 4.
Oh God, are they all good, or does it get bad like the Saw series?
If you don't have ADD, they're good.
Okay. Why do you say that? Is there just a lot going on in the plot?
Yeah, dude, it's great.
Nobody knows what this damn red cereal is with the frog on it. It's really, I have this like can't log off feeling until I get it. Red frog cereal. It was like, I'm trying to think of the taste of it. It was kind of weird. I'm trying to remember what it was. It's different than it.
Sticky.
It was a frog. I'm almost sure it was a frog.
Mm-hmm. It was a tree frog.
Cereal list. That might be our only way to get this answer.
This is annoying. Why am I still on camera?
Honey Smacks, dude. This is so weird. So I look up. I know that's why I did it. I look up cereal. All I did was look up cereal list, and the third cereal is Honey Smacks. Like the third one.
Did you put tree frog?
I didn't put anything but cereal list.
Oh, it was so bad. Anybody who had that, I didn't trust them.
Yeah, that's how I felt because we were talking about the Pops thing, and I was like, Pops is better than Honey Smacks all day, but it made me think of that.
No, Pops is the same shit.
No, it's a little different.
No, fuck off.
It's a little different. Sugar Smacks, Honey Smacks. Bill, thank you.
Yes, dude. Yes, that was the same shit. All of them sucked.
Black licorice is the #1 candy in Holland. They love that shit. Dude, is that weird or what? Like everyone just loves them some black licorice in Holland. That is so funny. So, anyway, okay. So, as an adult for nostalgia, I do Fruit Loops or Apple Jacks. Ooh, okay. Okay, so obviously, guys, there wasn't a ton to talk about with the NFL. And I just wanted to have an episode where we could just lay back and crack a beer and chill. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Tomorrow's going to be trivia. So we're going to get back into some normalcy. Oh, Captain Crunch. I don't like the film you get on the roof of your mouth, though. You get that film on your mouth. No, we get it. You have cat.
Okay.
I was just logging off unless you have anything for the good old people. No! All right, guys. Well, that's it for this episode. We'll see you tomorrow for trivia. Tyler, always a pleasure. Love you. I'll see you guys soon.